Hello, friends. Hello, pirates. Friends of Pirate Chain. Hello. It's me, the Giuliano. It's 26 June. It's the final weekend of June for this 2021. I'm going to share the R price charts, but first let's take a look at a BTC USD price chart just to get an idea, because really there's a lot of unclarity right now. But the Bitcoin price chart might give us something to think about. So thanks for joining. I hope you're doing well. And we're just going to take a look here. We're using getaurox terminal. And this is a Bitstamp chart. Recently, there was, I guess, an update to the getaurox terminal because the colors are brighter, the lines are thicker. I had to change some of the settings so that it wouldn't look like a thick crayon. And yeah, so I hope things are looking all right. Leave your feedback in the comments. Thanks for hitting the like button, much appreciated. Okay, we'll get back here in a moment. This is the 1-day chart, okay? And what are we noticing? Well, we're noticing we're at the lower end of the Bollinger Band, which could mean some further dumping. But we had some dumping and we got some support here. And yeah, sure, we're in this area looking like we're making lower lows on a closing basis. This is a daily chart and nothing has closed yet. And if we want to just take intraday work here information, then fine. So we could definitely continue going lower, all right, over the next day or two, right, to Saturday and then Sunday, and even into the beginning of the week. But yeah, the sentiment generally on this side of things is, oh yeah, they are thick, a bit on the upward end. Okay, nothing special, maybe not even past like 35,000 or whatever, wherever the 20-day moving average reaches. Okay, but nevertheless, some form of relief, and hey, it could even go higher, okay, towards a 40,000 to test. But what gives me that reasoning here is really the lagging indicators you might have already seen about divergences that are forming. And also that this is not winding up the same way. It's not flattening out, narrowing the way it did here before this recent sell-off dump, okay? So with the width already here, we're gonna see how this week plays out. We definitely could have the next leg down in the next week and just be continuing to test this lower end of the Bollinger Band, okay? But the sentiment I'm also getting here is that the market is trying to do everything it can to mess with people's minds and emotions. The market is really just taking everyone for a whipsaw ride back and forth. And I think personally, what I think is happening right now is this market is not about the spot market. This market is about the leverages and the longs and shorts that build and then get wiped out, because that's where all the money is able to be made off of people at this point. The spot holders are just holding, and you know, weak hands, as they're called, probably already sold. If not, well, that's what the market is doing, is doing its best to get people out of there so that it can, so that the smart money, as it's called, can get the best prices, the best deals. And so because this is such an emotional and volatile space as a market, it just it tends to be a lot more violent. And I think that the maximum pain is something that is actively searched for by the market itself. Okay, I'm not going to choose any specific individual actors, right? It's just a composite of the market forces, including all of their incentives and all that good stuff. All right, now, what are we thinking here? We're thinking fine. There's a good chance that it can keep going down, but if everybody's thinking it's going down, then it's more likely to go up. Now, where are we MACD style? Here in this situation, it looks more like this. Okay. I hope you're seeing that. It doesn't look like something like this, or something like this, or even something like this. Okay. So I'm guessing, okay, maybe we're in this kind of position where we can move into green. Now, does it have to be big green? Is it going to be a big green? I don't know. We're just thinking like short term, within this week, what kind of a week are we going to have potentially? So yeah, that's that thought right there. So that's considering the MACD information on this daily chart. Then right here with the RSI, nothing is telling us similar information. I'm finding the MACD to have a little bit more to give at this point. You know, it could go down, could keep going up, a little choppy sideways, you know, like we're right here. Up could just mean going right here and then back down here, or up could mean going here and down, whatever. It doesn't, up doesn't have to mean up, right? So that's that idea. Where are we? So this is July, and that would be towards the end of the next week, well, middle end. It's about the Thursday, I believe, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this would be 1 week from now over here. So let's see. This is a daily chart, so it'll make moves up to about here for this next week. But definitely this weekend looks like it's a weak weekend. W-E-E-K, W-E-A, no, W-E-A-K, W-E-E-K-E-N-D. All right. I hope I didn't fail that spelling bee. Sometimes words come out and it's recorded, and then after the fact, you realize, oops, I said the wrong word. Okay. Here we are looking at this RSI, and it's nothing special, right? But then when we start to look at some of the actual price movement here, we see this downward sloping movement, and with these lagging indicators, we're seeing the upward sloping movement, and this means that there is potentially here some, say it with me, divergence. Yes, and this would be some bullish divergence because the price is decreasing opposite the momentum indications, which are increasing. All right, so which means the divergence will eventually lead to a change in direction. Yeah, now, is that change in direction going to be big? Might not be. Might not be super huge, right? This is a daily chart, but it's the type of change in direction that might even lead to a testing into this cloud region, right? Within the 40,000, 41,000 level, or whatever it's going to be. That it might reject. It's fine, but that will be a momentum push, or a how do you say? Yeah, whatever, momentum to the upside, right? So that's that thought. So now, okay, where does that leave us here? Okay, that leaves us with a week of possibility here. The weekend, we might see still further dump. We might be into the 20,000s to close the week. And in fact, you know what? I guess this is coming a bit of a BTC video here, friends, sorry. But yeah, it's just dangerous to close this low, isn't it? In a weekly chart, to close this low is asking to come down and probably even break the Ichimoku cloud, but it's asking to come down and dump further on a weekly basis. So as long as the close for the week, let's call it here around 32, and you really you don't want to close the week below 32. Otherwise, yeah, you're asking for a big dump. With the candlesticks, again, not looking like your friend at this point. So let's see what happens. Today's the Saturday. We'll see how the Sunday plays out, and definitely we'll be back for that. So I hope you are too. Now let's move on. I mean, that is, so this Bitcoin price is the way that, let's say for these pirate charts, we were wondering how did they clean up this up move? Is it correcting before the next up move, or is it the end of this cycle in the bigger sense that this is a really big top that will need to play out? The whole move will need to be retraced, or at least a huge significant portion of it. Well, technically a big portion of it was, relatively speaking, already retraced. We have from this very bottom move to the very top move, we've got a 786 retracement. This is a pretty significant retracement. It just looks bigger because of the logarithmic scale, okay? So yeah, we're hitting an 80% retracement here, and that's significant. That's from the very bottom, not even from this local bottom. If we take the local bottom here of this bigger move, just as a reminder, we are again at like an 80% retracement. That just shows that even the move was so big from here, from this 30 cents, that an extra double here at 15 cents. I guess it's just an extra double. That's it. Alrighty. So what does that mean? Well, we get a little bit of information here in this MACD lagging indicator. We got the red negative momentum, and it's small relative to the size of this one. This one was big, and this one is relative to that size. Therefore, yes, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 more days, like into the week. Could be a red week or a sideways week, but if it is building back towards a green positive, and these are kind of coming together, intermingling, that'll mean basically that at least it's not a huge dumping week. That should be the idea. That should be the idea. Okay, so the next couple of days shouldn't be massive dumping days. They should probably just be uncertainty days, and the market watching the big daddy-o Bitcoin, So that's basically what it's going to be. So enjoy yourself, right? Get out there, enjoy the relationships that you have and you build and cultivate, and you read something of value or do some meditation. Just work on yourself and on the things that matter to you in your life. I hope you're doing well. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. Just noticing here, yeah, we are on a downsloping in the RSI. So on a daily level, at some point here, we are looking to get down here. I mean, it just makes the most sense at this point. All right. When will that be? Well, this whole bar between here and here is 1 month of July. And so that likely will be either very soon within this next week, or this next week, or we're going to see it at some point in July. And then after that, it's time for the momentum to turn around. But again, let's watch this month, the next month play out. I do think it's going to be another slow grind, a painful grind with some hope injections as well. So yeah, all good. All right, so that's the dollar position. You want to check out the 4-hour time frame. Sounds good. Let's do that. On a 4-hour, you can see here that there is a ceiling at this Ichimoku cloud, and it's continuously descending here. So, and we are on a dump. So it looks like, there might be a next, maybe a little pop back up into the higher $2 levels, and maybe we're going to see something down into the lower $2. Might not be, well, it would have to be within this impulse here that we're potentially seeing. Otherwise, it's just going to be some form of zigzag or flat pattern, or some part of something even bigger. And so, but basically we are impulsing or making a quick move towards the downside right now, and it's been happening for a couple of days. And yeah, so there's a good chance that we're nearing the end of it, or it needs to be a bit bigger, in which case, a little corrective move up and then the final move down to where it needs to be. So let's see that clear out within the next, I'd say, day or two, right, over this weekend. That would be ideal. Let's see that correct. sorry, the clear out and maybe reverse here. And what we're getting, so we already had a low into the oversold territory. We might still get one into the oversold territory. But what does that show us? Well, just like the BTC, we are starting on a 4-hour, okay? So nothing huge, nothing special. Don't need to get too excited about it, but it is something, right? It's something. And right now, okay, yeah, you can argue this one as well. You can say that over here is lower and here is higher, lower, higher. So nothing is fully played out yet on the MACD side of things. However, again, on this 4-hour, it's looking like we are rounding out of the negative and into the positive. So, hey, let's see what happens. Hopefully it's a significant enough of a divergence that it brings us into some, maybe some territory that breaks into the 3. But yeah, at this point, resistance might not even allow us back into the $3 level, or if it does, it might not be long-lived at this point. Let's see. It really, again, depends on the BTC. We can have more clarity in a little bit, but right now, the main idea is over the next day or two, it seems like maybe this week is going to be a relief week. Okay, let's call it right now relief week this week. Okay, let's get there. Let's play in that circle. Okay, that's it for the USD. Now for the doom and gloom. No, I'm kidding. But our BTC chart tells us that, you know what, we are playing against BTC, and BTC is in a position normally where once it gets ramped up again, something like an RBTC chart will look worse. And then our USDT chart will look great. It'll look way better. That's the very real possibility. Anyhow, we have here a 200-day moving average, okay, coming towards this area. So this is where the 5,000 Satoshi to where maybe let's say 6,000 Satoshi. These numbers are in play, okay, here, 4,000 Satoshi. Like, this is a real number now. We are at this level here where on a daily chart, this is the supportive price action that we have in our favor. Other than that, we're basically back here, okay? So this is a potential turning point. We shall see. It is only temporary, for sure. That's my consideration. Now, if everything, the other consideration, and we can look at it on a weekly chart, but and maybe we'll do that in the next video. I feel like I've taken enough time for today. And the next video hopefully we'll have the closing weekly price, or at least have a better idea what the weekly price will look like at closing. So here we are, nothing special with this RSI. And well, at least MACD is showing us the potential that the red is nearly over and into some positive momentum green. However, we still have this little bit, so it didn't go straight back into positive territory. Okay, instead, oops. That didn't work. Sorry, friends, here. Instead, yeah, you see it, right? We're doing one of these and just dip back down a bit first. So maybe 1 day, 2 days, right? And then we're back into potentially into that positive green territory. So let's see. Maybe we will get some relief also in our BTC chart. All right. Whoops. Alrighty. So I think I don't really have much else to add for the weekend for this Saturday and Sunday. Let's just take a look at that 4-hour price chart and just get a little bit more clarity on what's happening for us here. Okay, well, rejection within the cloud. Those were our 2 green day candles with big wicks. Yep, here we are. We're just kind of slowing down the downward movement, but we are not holding the previous support here. And yeah, looks like we are trying to confirm that this is the low we're going to have before the next move up. And that's what we're looking at. Again, just look 1 time, 2 times. Yeah, you could come back down for a 3rd time, but seems less likely. And again, here we are looking like just some more sideways and up type of action in the 4-hour on the MACD, potentially moving back into some positive territory. However, on the 4-hour level, we're seeing it's just now starting to show us that rounding down again. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's look for some more confirmations. Okay, but right now does not really give us a clear indication, other than I will say, let's watch this price here. Let's see if we get some form of divergence. Okay, if the price does end up closing or trading below this price, preferably closing, then the MACD doesn't dump lower, then we got some divergence potentially there. Okay, now this is just a 4-hour chart. So anyway, it seems as though we're not going to be in the downward side for too much longer on this shorter term, and then back up towards a if we can get into the 9,000 of Satoshis, that would be nice, wouldn't it? All right, something is something, right? At least it's something to the upside. Okay, friends, that's it for now. Take care of yourselves. Hope you to come back for the next one, right? All right, take care. Bye.